Hey, what's up, guys? Got home from the ARG Connecticut 2.5K event this past weekend. I ran Ginyu, green yellow. Pretty generic deck, but I thought it was really good because of some broken cards in it, so I decided to go with it. A lot of my teammates ran similar or anything with Sugesh or any other broken card. Um, as you see, the team Bearded Collectibles won the Team Wars. So we got these mats, and I got to keep this shirt right here. I want to thank Bearded Collectibles, Matt Coombs, Alec Pastrana for giving us this chance, and it worked out because of what happened. And so overall, I had a really good time. Met a lot of good people. Saw a lot of people that I already knew. It was really fun, and I recommend going to these events. And so the deck's pretty straightforward, like I said. Draw power with Bulma. Trunks draws a Saiyan to your hand. I run many Saiyans, as you can see. So I usually never miss with that. And I always want to draw two with Trunks and then discard one because I want to filter my deck more and fill up my discard pile so I can overwhelm. Kaba, you already know what it does. Gets either Caulifla or Kale into hand or into play if you're Caulifla. Helps me self-awaken, as you already know. Sugesh, broken card, needs to get errated, probably banned. I can play pretty much a lot of my deck at will and spam the board and help me go off. I decided with this deck to go Brawly package, but the Brawly package is only 4 3-drops and 4 6-drops. The 3-drop is pretty good. If I clear the board with Kale, I can then Sugesh or Brawly into play or hard cast it. And then it clears the big guy off the board. Depends on the game state, but it's really good because then I can evolve into the big Brawly. I only ran 3 Goku because that was the perfect number for me. I ran 2 originally. I decided to go to 3 because why not? It's a good card, it's a blocker, and it has perfect synergy with Sugesh. Kale, you already know, insane card. For Overwhelm, I ran 2 Trunks and 1 Mass Saiyan. I didn't really play the Trunks that often, which is crazy because a lot of people abuse that card to get Sugesh back. Because again, Trunks can get any battle card back. But I didn't use it that often. I use Mass Saiyan more because of the matches I was in where I wanted to clear their board. Overall, though, you have to run black cards in a deck, I would say, because it just puts you at a huge advantage overall. And of course, the big Brawly. A lot of people are going to ask, why aren't you running the Bio Brawly or the 4-drop Brawly or whatever else? And I was like, well, the 1-drop Brawly isn't that good, and the 3-drop Brawly is insane, but you only really want to evolve into the biggest Brawly because of his stats and because of what he does. 2 cards at random. So if your opponent has 2 life left and you evolve, it's usually going to be game. You're usually going to win the game with his swing. Don't forget that you can also use Captain Ginyu to take a life on his awakened side to gain double strike and then swing out. And so I've won many games where if my opponent has 4 life, let's say, I can do that. His power, gain double strike, swing to take 2 life. Then I evolve this, and then it's game. For extra cards, pretty standard package as well. Planet Vegeta, that's also a broken card. Searches for pretty much everything in my deck. The only things it doesn't search for are these. Like it does 4-drop or lower, so it gets these and anything else. That's a Saiyan. Cold Bloodlust standard. Some people don't run 4. I ran 4 main board because, again, if I'm trying to go for game in some aspect, I can, and they Sugesh, I can Bloodlust whatever they may put in play. Again, Cell Chain, thankfully did not play against any Cell Chain decks this weekend. And overall, it's obviously a good card. And Crusher Ball, I ran that instead of the Nimbus Cloud, or the Flying Nimbus, because it works better with March in game 1, I think. It's hard. They're both really good cards. I just like when my opponent marches and I respond with Crusher Ball, they both come into play exhausted. And then I get an extra turn to survive. and swing out on them. This deck went 6 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties overall in 9 rounds. My loss was to a similar deck, but with Mecha Leader and other bigger green cards like Gotenks 5-drop. And my ties were against Ginyu Apes, where I'd win game 1, they'd win game 2, and then in game 3, it went to time. Apes is a pretty hard matchup for this deck. You got to play really carefully. I lost my games because of Flying Nimbus against Apes. Basically, I would swing out. If they Nimbus me, I'm screwed because I would have a big board, but I can't swing out with everything because of Nimbus. And then next turn they would kill me with the Apes. My sideboard did help. It's right here. So 15 card sideboard. Goten as a 1-of. It actually did help. I did side it in a couple games. It's good against a lot of the meta decks. It can kill these guys off the board. It can kill the androids off the board, blockers off the board, King Vegeta off the board, and that's why I have another Mass Saiyan in case I need to side it out. I would side 2 of these. I would have 2 of these in my deck. I would side this in, take one of these out, and it worked out well. Fu is a broken card. I kind of wish I mainboarded it. I was siding these in a lot for these. Flying Nimbus I sided in. I would take out some Crusher Balls, maybe some Bloodlust against the Apes matchup, and they did help. Haru Haru. If you're playing this game competitively, I suggest you run Haru Haru main sideboarded because of what it can do for the meta. It's just really good. If you get Bloodlusted, it hurts, but otherwise it puts you at a huge advantage. Piccolo, I did not side. I probably shouldn't have put it in my sideboard. I was just there because I ran it at the previous regional I was at, and it helped. But I never played against a Vegeta deck, even though one topped. And it's a good card, but I didn't have a need for it. Android 16, I sided in, but I never saw it against the Apes matchup. And then Battering Laser, I never sided in at all, even though it would have helped against this card, Flying Nimbus. But overall, here's the deck. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, it was a good weekend. All my opponents were great. And congratulations to people in my locals who joined the team, did well. The team overall, I was very happy with because of how it ended up. Special congratulations to Anthony Hernandez and Ryan Severin for first and second. We were all on the same team. And we will definitely see you guys eventually in the future with better decks. I don't like running this kind of stuff. I need to take this apart and run something different, but just wanted to share this for now. And let me know what you think.